Shegun Fatuma, welcome. Goya Sharis, blessings. Rochelle White, good evening. Paul David, Adeleke Adeniyi, Bemi Orekoya, She Sandra, Olukayode, welcome. Omonike, Glory, Burning Gift, Comfy, Henry Mali, Galina Kirishenka, Anojo. Welcome everyone. It's about time for us to begin. So I would like to ask you to go share the link for this message, because it's going to be an important piece for all of us. And I hope you'll be able to pass the message down to many other people. The importance of a father in the children's life. The importance of a father in the children's lives. The importance of a father in children's lives. There is an enormous advantage in having a father at home. Every family must have a father. Just like every human living on planet Earth is blessed with the privilege of having a heavenly father. Just like we all have a heavenly father, so also we're in need of a physical father. Heavenly Father is there for the good and the bad. Heavenly Father is there not just for the good and the bad. Heavenly Father is there for us at all times. Our Heavenly Father is always there for us at all times. He's always reliable, dependable, and he never fails us. So our Heavenly Father is always there. He's always there for us. He's always there for us. So in a similar way, every family must have a father who will always be there for them. Every family must have a father who will always express the same care for them as God the Father expresses. God the Father gives us and provides us with his blessings and provision on a universal basis. But every home, every family, every individual needs that kind of care as well on his own individual level, So we are going to be talking about fathers and the role of fathers all this week. So all this week I'm going to be talking about a father, how to be a father. Unfortunately, too many people are living in this world who don't know how to become a father, how to be a father. Too many people call themselves fathers, but they don't have an idea what a father is and who a father is. A lot of people are called fathers, and people call them papa, 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 father, 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 daddy, daddy, but they don't have an idea of what it means. So that's why we must liquidate that ignorance. We must quench that deficit that is out there. We must destroy that lack of understanding that is ruling in the mind, that is ruling in our world. Our world is full of so much ignorance. If you ask a father what are his roles apart from making money and providing for the home, most fathers don't know. If you ask most men what are their roles for their parents, for their children, and what do they bring to the family as fathers, most men don't know as well. So that's why we have to do this. All this week I'm going to be talking about what it means to be a father. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of fathers in their home, in the family. That the important role that fathers play to their children. the important role of fathers in their families, in their homes, in their children, to their children. First of all, you're already aware that a man, even before he becomes a father, just being a man at home means that he's a pillar. We spoke about that in the morning. We spoke about that all this week, what it means to be a father, and what it means to be a man. Sorry, and what is the role of the man in the family. The man is the foundation. The man is the foundation upon which the home is based, upon which the house is built. The man is the foundation upon which the family is built. So today, we are going to be talking about the role of the father in the life of the children. What does a father bring to the life of the children? What is the role of fathers in children's lives? Well, first of all, a father brings assurance. A father brings assurance. That's number one. Some of you might want to write down some of these lessons, because if you are a man, you need to know your role. If you are a man, you need to know how you are supposed to function. If you are a man, you need to know what you are supposed to bring to the home for your children. If you are a man, you should know what your presence is there for. You are supposed to do something other than just bringing money. You are supposed to do something other than just going to work. Yes, one of the things that a man does is to bring, one of the ways a man brings assurance is through going to work and bringing money. But that is just a method. That is a method of assurance, a method of expression. That is just a method of expression. That is just one way you bring that assurance. But that is not supposed to be seen as the only thing or as the most important thing. It's one of the important things, but it's not the only thing a man is supposed to be doing in the family. So let's say you are a man, or before you become a father, a man must think about these things. And a woman also, before you agree to marry any man or to accept any person to be your father, or to be the father to your children, or the father figure to your children, or even to be the godfather to your children, let us examine them, what they bring to the table. You must examine the man that is looking at your side, what he can offer. You must examine the man that is trying to ask for your hand in marriage, what he can bring to the table. What can he deliver? Can he bring assurance to you? Can he bring assurance to your children? But before he brings assurance to your children, he must bring assurance to you. He must first of all give you so much peace, so much assurance that you will not need to be worried or concerned about anything at all. If it's only when a man has been able to bring assurance to the mother, that is only when he will be able to bring the same assurance to the children. If a man is not able to bring assurance to the mother of those children would never see that same assurance from that man. If a man is not able to bring assurance to you as a woman, he will not be able to provide the assurance to your children. So the very first thing a man does in the family and to the children is that he brings assurance to them. So when children come to him, he's supposed to give them assurance that they are safe, they are secure, they are protected, everything is okay. Just like the foundation of the house that we are staying in right now provides and gives us that assurance that we are safe and secure here. That is the same assurance a man is supposed to bring to the family. The assurance and the assurance about the fact that we are safe and secure here. And that is what the communication of the father is supposed to be to the child. By loving that child, by providing for that child, by leading that child, by giving that child stability and protection, you are telling that baby that you are safe and secure in this home. That you are safe and secure in this home. He's bringing assurance to that baby that she is welcome. He's bringing an assurance to that child that she is welcome or he is welcome. So a father brings the feeling of assurance to the family, to the children. If it's a baby boy, he needs that assurance. When you look about the world today, sometimes you see that some men are they are so weak. Some men are so weakling they cannot even express their opinion. They are not confident in life. What is it that makes men not to be confident in life? It is normally because most of those men never had a father. Or even if they had the father never played any role. Or the father was only there physically. Or the father was only there as a male, but not as a father. So even though the father was there, he was only going to work. He was only going to job. He was only going to get salary, bringing money home. That's it. But he was not playing any role in the life of those children. And that is why a baby boy will grow up and is unsure of himself. He did not get that assurance from the father. A father is supposed to bring that stability that converts into assurance in the life of the man, in the life of the boy, so that when it goes about walks confidently. He walks confidently about his life. He goes to school assured, confident. He goes to work assured, confident. He knows what he's about. He knows what he's after. He knows that things will work out for him. He knows that he will not fail. He knows that he will succeed. He knows that there is nothing impossible for him. He knows that everything is possible for him. He's assured of his success. He is confident of himself. That confidence comes from the Father. That confidence comes from the Father. The Father is the person that brings the assurance. The Father is. To a baby boy, that is very important, because it is that assurance that later on will mature and graduate in the life of the baby boy into what we call passion. He will be goal-driven. Most of the men that we have today who are not passionate, who are not goal-driven, who are not purpose-driven, the reason they are not purpose-driven is because they were brought up in families where they have not been shown the role of a man. It's the reason why the boys who grow up and now they are men, they are now 40 years old or 50 years old, they are not driven, they are not goal-driven. It's because there was no example in their lives when they were growing up. Nobody showed them how to be driven, how to be goal-oriented in life. So they are not goal-oriented. They are not passionate about life. They are not passionate about life. They don't know how to go out and be a hunter, an adventurer, a conqueror, a winner, because they don't have that confidence. This is why we need men in the family. Men bring assurance. A man, the presence of a man, is supposed to instill that confidence, that assurance in the life of the man, of the boy. And when the boy grows up, it affects him everywhere. Because that is what determines how confident that boy becomes when he becomes a man. That is what determines how purpose-driven he becomes when he becomes a man. And that is what determines how much leadership he is able to provide for his family when he grows up to be a man. So that is the role of assurance that a man brings to the life of a boy, a baby boy. Let's look at a baby girl. Let's look at the baby girl. If there is no man in the life of a baby girl, that baby girl will always look at herself and feel that she's inferior. That baby girl will grow up always comparing herself to other girls, even though all women compare themselves to each other. But, there are different levels. And there's some girls who grew up without a boy or without a man. She will always see herself as being inferior. She will always see that she is the worst in the class. She will always see herself and look at herself and think she is the worst compared to all other girls. She will always be hiding. She will always be hiding in her room. She will always be hiding from the public. She will always, even if she goes to the public, she will always be quiet and be silent, because she is always intimidated. That girl without a boy, without a man in her life, she is going to be broken inside. She's intimidated inside. Another thing that happens to such girls who grow up without a man in the family is that they don't have the confidence to be able to express themselves. Normally, girls are supposed to express themselves in creativity, in beauty, in charming. But these girls, they will abandon themselves. They will not take good care of themselves because they don't have the confidence to do it. Another thing that the assurance brings to the life of the baby girl is that if there is lack of it, if there is no assurance from the father, that baby girl will grow up looking for it in the wrong places. That baby girl will grow up looking for that assurance, looking for that stability from an older man. That is the reason why girls become promiscuous when they grow up. That is the reason why girls are looking for men, because they want to be loved by men, they want to be accepted by men, and they want to get that affirmation that they did not get from their fathers when they were growing up, from the men that meet them. So one of the great things that a father brings to a family is assurance, is affirmation and assurance. A man in the family, the father of the home, fathers bring affirmation to the girls and assurance to the men. Fathers bring affirmation to the girls, and they bring assurance to the men, to the boys. So if there is no assurance for the boy, that is what a boy grows up to become. If there is no affirmation to the girl, that is what a girl grows up to become. So that girl grows up and begins to look for affirmation in men. She begins to look for attention from men. She begins to look for men to affirm her. And she doesn't know that men will just take advantage of her and use her as sexual object. And she really, what she's been looking for is what she did not get while she was in her own home, in her own family, from her father. So if you are a single mother, therefore, the very first thing that you are supposed to do is to either study all these principles and try to, bring them, act them out for your children, or you are supposed to find somebody, maybe your uncle, your brother, your pastor, or somebody who will be coming around to act and to play the role of a father, of a godfather, or of a father in the life of your children. Or you could play that role as well. But it is about functioning. It's about, because a man could be present in the house and not function as a man. A father could be present in the house and not function as a father. So it is about functioning. It's not, a man could be present there. These things that I'm talking about, this affirmation and assurance that I'm talking about that man brings, does not come automatically. The fact that a man is lying in bed every day, every night, and watching television, that doesn't give the children anything. That does not give that child anything. So the feelings of assurance and affirmation, they come only when the man acts it out. The man must know what to give. The man must instill those feelings of confidence, those feelings of affirmation and assurance. He must bring those feelings over the life of those children. He must groom them in it. He must create that atmosphere. But if a man is present, but is not really there, and is not even bringing anything to the table, it means that man is creating rather the opposite. It's creating the opposite impression, that a man could be present in the house, and there is no security, there is no assurance, there is no affirmation, there is nothing. So the very first thing, if you are taking the note today, the very first thing that a man is supposed to bring to the family, the reason why we have a father, I'm talking about father this week, the very first thing that a father brings to the family, the very first thing that a father brings to the family of his children to the life of his children. Why do we need fathers in the family? Why do we need fathers? Why do we need men? Why do we need fathers to grow up with their children? The reason is because fathers bring assurance to the boys, and they bring affirmation to the girls. That is what fathers are supposed to be. But if fathers are not playing their role, if fathers are not men, if fathers are kids or they are babies, if fathers are boys, or if fathers are teens, or teenagers are behaving like teenagers, or they are behaving like a boy, or they are behaving like a child, it does not bring profit at all. It's even better for that man not to be in that house than for him to be in the house and not to provide and not to play the role he's supposed to be playing. So a father brings affirmation to the baby girl, and a father brings assurance to the baby boy. I've already explained to you what happens to the boy if he doesn't have that assurance, and what happens to the boy, what does he become in life if his father is not there to bring that assurance, and there's no other person bringing that assurance. And I've already explained to you what happens to the girl if there's nobody bringing that that affirmation to her life. If a girl doesn't have that affirmation, who does she become in life? I've already explained that to you also. So let me tell you about other things that that a father will bring to the family. Why do we need a father? What is the importance of a father in the home? Another thing that a father does and that a father brings to the table is to a father communicates to the child that child is welcomed, acceptance. A father must communicate acceptance to the child. It doesn't matter what that child is. A child could be blind, a child could be sick, a child could be handicapped, a child could be incapacitated one way or the other. It might be lame or sick, but what a father does in the family is to let that baby know that she is accepted or she is accepted. A father is supposed to let the baby know that he is normal. A father is supposed to, by loving, by hugging, by fondling, by caring, by paying attention, a father communicates acceptance. A father is supposed to communicate acceptance. And I just remember some things now that just break my heart. I'm a pastor, and as a pastor, I've seen a lot of things over the years. And even here in Ukraine, in Europe, this is where I pastor most of the time. Let me tell you something, which is a very, very sad thing, but this is what happens. I've seen so many families. Like I said, fathers are supposed to bring acceptance, that feeling of acceptance, and to the baby, to the girl, to the boy, to confirm to her and to affirm to her and to instill in that child that you are accepted, you are accepted, you are accepted in this family. This family is your home. That is one of the things that fathers are supposed to do. But let me tell you a sad story. It's not just one story, but it happens all the time. When there's this couple in the family, in were in the church. They were not members of our church, but they were unbelievers. They were Christian, but they came later on. The wife who came. They were having wonderful relationship, the wonderful love story, and the guy was well-to-do. The lady was okay. Then they were trying to have their third baby or second child or third child or so. And that child was born, but paralytic, what do you call it? Child paralysis or whatever they call it. She has some child paralysis or whatever they call it. No, cerebral paralysis. So that baby was born with cerebral paralysis or cerebral something. So anyway, the baby was, like a lame baby. And this was the third child. And that is the time where the father is most needed. When a baby is born with challenges, when a child appears in the family with challenges, with some health issues, there is no better time to have a father. That is the most important time for the presence of a father. But you know what happened? As soon as this man saw, at first it was there, at first it was, they were going to hospitals and going to everywhere. Then it got to a place that, they needed to, cerebral palsy, yes, cerebral palsy. So they needed to, they needed to have a schedule, right? Schedule. So in the schedule, the mother will be there maybe in the morning, the father has to be there in the evening with the baby, the mother has to take care of the senior baby children, and the father has to be there to stay back at home with the younger baby, and things like that. Or the father has to go with the other children to school or to town or to something, and it involved more commitment. And you know what men do at that point? That man, he just ran away. He didn't run away. He just went and got another girl. He just went and got another girl and formed a new family. And these kind of things happen with men all the time. I've seen situations when a girl was a dancer, like the Russian ballet dancers. The ballet dancers are beautiful opera ballet dancers. A beautiful girl. Then when they dance, they jump and all that. So this lady jumped. She was practicing, so she jumped in the swimming pool and broke her spine. And you know what the man did? The so-called man. They've been living together for 10 years. You know what the man did? Of course, he left her paralyzed. He left her in the wheelchair. And ran for his life and went and got a new girl. So these are some of the reasons why you should be careful to get a real man. These are some of the reasons why you should not settle for just any boy or just a male. That is the reason why you must make sure that you are married to a real man. To a real man, to a foundation. Not to a baby, not to a child, not to a boy. Can you imagine 3 children and the 3rd child who is now deformed and who is now with paralysis, disabled, and that is the time the man disappeared? Tell me, how will a woman, all by herself, now be taking care of the 3 children? And she has to go to work. Of course, she couldn't go to work. She stopped going to work. But even with the man, things were difficult for them. But now the man totally disappeared, just went and abandoned 3 children with the woman. So at least he was working before. He was bringing money. Nobody to work now. No man. Nobody to drive the car. Nobody to help take the baby to the bathroom, to bath the baby. Nobody to help, change the dress. Nobody to sit with the baby when the small other children needs to be dressed for the school. Nobody to sit back at home when the other children are taken to school. Catastrophic situation. Nobody to drive the car. Nobody to to bath the woman. Nobody to sleep in the night with the troublesome baby so that they will be able to wake up in the morning and take the other children to where they need to go to. So these are things that happen in this world. That's why you must look very well before you leap. That is why a lot of men, I said, they don't have an idea of what it means to be a man. And don't just go after somebody because the person is 40 years old or 30 years old, or the person says it's a man or a boy or whatever. One of the things that a man brings to the table at a time like that is acceptance. Acceptance. A father needs to provide when that baby is disabled, that is born, that is given birth to a child. A father needs to be there to provide acceptance, to give that woman. First of all, that acceptance, that feeling of acceptance is the woman who needs it, first of all. That wife, she needs to really feel that feeling of acceptance. She needs to know that she's accepted even though she had given birth to a disabled child. You need to be proof to that woman that you are there for her as a foundation and as a pillar and covering, no matter what. Everything is well, everything is okay, that it doesn't even move you. Secondly, you need to be there for the child. That child, every child, even the healthy children, they need to feel that one of the things that a father brings to the family, even to the healthy children, is that feeling of acceptance. If a child is growing up in a family and that child does not have that fatherly acceptance, that embrace of the father, that feeling, that confidence that she is accepted or he is accepted in this home, that this home is his home, this home is our home. That is what a father brings. A father is supposed to instill that assurance, that confidence in a baby, in a boy, in a girl, in the child, that you are accepted in this home, you are accepted in this house, you are accepted, this is your house. Even if that child is normal, even if that child is healthy, everything, she will not perform well in the classes. She will not study well. She will not do well in the school. She will not do well with the colleagues in school. She will be shy. She will be bullied, or he will be bullied. He will not feel accepted in that family. In that family and in the school. He will not feel himself accepted in school. He will not feel himself accepted among his colleagues, because the father had not taken his time. The father has not gone the extra mile to convince that child that he is accepted in this house. The father has not gone to prove his love enough and to instill that confidence in that child that you are accepted here. This is your house. You are the owner of this house. You are accepted here. You are no worse in this house than any other house. You are no worse in this house than any other child. You are no worse than mother. You are not much worse than father. You are no worse than your brother. You are no worse than your sister. That feeling of acceptance is what a father brings. A father must bring that. That is what brings the confidence to the baby. That is what to the child. That is what gives the child the self-confidence that he needs to function. That is what makes him to study very well. That's what makes him to try his best. That's what makes him to go and strive. And so that removes low self-esteem. It removes low self-esteem from the child. That is what a father is supposed to bring. But especially if that child has special issues, if it's a child with special needs, if that child is with special needs, more so, the reason why a father must be there all the time to convince and to affirm to that child, child that she is accepted or he is accepted in this home. So because with special needs, you might be thinking that you are worse than others, that you are not okay, that God is against you, or so you are unfortunate, and evil. Satan attacks children with special needs, and that's why a father who is a protection, who is a pillar, who is an assurance, who is a stability figure, is the stronger partner in the family. And the child sees that the father is the head of the family. Since the child is seeing that, that child needs that assurance, needs that protection, needs that acceptance from the person who is the most important person in the house. It's just like saying you go, for example, to visit, even as an adult, if you go to visit, let's say you go to visit your sister, and your sister is let's say your sister has a husband, all right? Your sister has a husband, and your sister accepts you very well in the house. But if the husband of that your sister, if the husband is not accepting you well, and if you don't feel the acceptance of the husband of that your sister, even though your sister receives you, even though the wife receives you in the house, even if the man himself is your own relative, if the wife receives you, it doesn't matter how well the wife receives you. If the man does not like you, if the man does not give you that acceptance, you will not feel comfortable. Even as an adult, you will not feel comfortable in that home. You will not feel yourself, you will feel yourself somehow out of place in that house. Talk less of a child. It affects our whole life. It affects the whole destiny of that child. That child will feel himself dejected. That child will lack confidence among his peers. That child will always be feeling as if he's rejected everywhere he goes. That's why, especially if a child has special needs, that's why a man must be there to give assurance to this woman and to give assurance to that child that she's okay, that he's okay, that he's accepted, that he's loved, and all that. By the way, I think that we should all share this message. I feel we should all look for our share button. Please look for your share button. Let's look for the share button to this message. I think it might be worth it to share the message and let people hear it. Let's share the message. Let's go share the message, please. Look under the video. You'll be able to see a share button there. Let's look for the button, for the share button, and let's share it. Because some people might need this. This might help some homes. This might help some families. It could help. So you cannot overemphasize the role of a father in the family. Just like I said now, that a father needs to bring acceptance. He needs to bring acceptance to the children, but also not just to the children, even to the wife, like I said. But concerning the wife, there are some other cases that I heard about, especially in Africa. I've heard cases whereby, like I said, just like I said now with the sons, with the children, that the father needs to make that child knows that it's accepted in that home, especially if that child is a special needs child. If that child has a special need, if that child has some challenges, some health issues, some health challenges, or some is disabled or something, a father's acceptance would do a wonder. A father's acceptance, a parent's acceptance could do miracle, could bring healing and recovery to that child. So when a thing like that happens in the family, that is one of the reasons why we need a father. Because when you give birth to a child that has special needs or that is disabled, the father is supposed to show acceptance to the mother, because the woman also begins to go under attack. Satan begins to attack the mind of that woman, that you gave birth to a disabled child, that you are not normal, that you are not okay, that see yourself, you are not able to give birth to a healthy baby, that it's your fault, or maybe you didn't eat well, or maybe you didn't exercise, or maybe you didn't do this, maybe because you did abortion before, or maybe because you had sex before. All kind of attacks go through the mind of the woman. So that's why the man must be there. That's why at the point like that, the husband must give that woman the assurance. Say, you know what? I don't care what happens. You are my lover. You are my love. I love you. You are my princess. You are my honor. There is nothing that will happen. I'm even more committed to you now than before this thing happened. And I also heard that when bad things happen like that, like maybe not give birth to a disabled child, maybe the woman is not even be able to give birth at all. Do you know what I heard? I heard that in Africa, that men, the so-called men, will actually, some men, not all of them, some men, will leave that woman. Can you believe it? The woman they said they were going to love all their lives. The woman they said they were going to be there when things are good and when things are bad. The woman that they were committing their lives to, maybe they were even standing on their knees before her before. They are now the ones leaving her. Where will she go to? What she should do with her life? After living with her, after disvirgining her, after making her not a girl again, not a virgin again, after using her, maybe they have lived with her for 10 years. So she's no more the 20-year-old girl that came to them. She's no more the 25-year-old girl. She's now in their 30s or in her 40s or in her 50s. Now you are leaving her. Just go. So what she should go? What she should do with her life? Because that kind of man is not a man. No. That man is a boy. Or he's just a kid. Or he's just a baby. That man is not a man. Even if he's 60 years old, he's not a man at all. Because if he's a man, you are supposed to have conscience. If he's a man, you know, a baby, the difference between a man, between a grown-up, between an adult and a child, is that a child is only, like you have a baby. If you have a baby, 4-year-old baby or 3-year-old baby, is the baby asking anytime, how are you feeling, that mommy? Are you okay? Are you not sick? Have you eaten? What did you take for breakfast? What did you take for lunch? What will you take for dinner? Can I go and get you something to eat? No child is asking about anything from the mother or from the father. The child doesn't care. A child is only caring for it. I am hungry, mama. Mama, what to eat? Mama. A child is egocentric. A child is only thinking about his own need. A child is only thinking about himself. A child is only thinking about his own hunger. He's only thinking about his own stomach. He's not thinking about the mother's stomach. So that is, if a man now comes and says, oh, I don't have a child, where is my own child? It means he's behaving like a child. He's thinking only about himself. He's thinking only about his own needs. He's only thinking about his own reputation. He's only thinking about his own self. So that is not a man at all. That is a boy. It's a boy. The fact that he has something between the legs doesn't make him a man. He's just a child. He's a boy. It's like a 4-year-old baby that is always saying, mama, give. I'm hungry. He's only thinking about himself. But adult people, grown-up people, a real man knows that it is in a time of crisis like that I'm supposed to bring assurance to that girl, to that woman. I told her I will be there for her. It is now, it's time for me now to prove my quality. It is now time for me to prove my word. It is now time for me, for my word to be tested, to prove to her that I am real. I am who I said I will be. I am who I said I am. It is now time for me to show her the truth of myself. It is now time for me to tell her that I'm the pillar in her life, that I'm the support system that she has. I am the foundation of this home, that I'm the foundation of her life, that she doesn't have to be worried about anything again. That is the time that even if the woman is telling you that you should go, the time you should tell her that no, this one I'm not going on. Now you will know you are married to. That's what a man does. A man provides succor in such a time. It provides succor. It provides stability in such a time like that. And that's why we need fathers in the house. A real father will not even think of doing anything like that. A real father will not even think of doing anything like that. A real father would rather say, okay, if you want, we'll do what you want. You want us to go and take a baby from orphanages? We go and take children from orphanages. You don't want us to have children at all? We are not to take children. We're not going to take. You want us to keep on trying? We're going to keep on trying. But it's not going to be pushing you from one babalawo to the other, from one from one church to the other, from one prophet to the other. No. He's going to make you relax and give you all the things that the assurance that you need. So that's number 2 thing that a father brings to the family. It brings acceptance. It brings acceptance both for the wife, and it brings acceptance to the child also. It brings acceptance. Next thing that a father does or brings to the table. Why do we need a father in the house? Another reason why we need a father in the house is that a father brings the feelings of protection and security. A father provides the feeling, it provides the children with the feeling of protection and security. A father is supposed to bring to the table, the father is supposed to bring that feeling of protection, that we're protected. Protection and security. Every child's feeling of security, every child's feeling of protection comes from the father. So the father is supposed to come to assure the child of his security in this house. Financial security, emotional security, spiritual security. A child provides it. It brings that feeling of protection. Emotionally, financially, morally, spiritually. A father. That's why men are built the way they are built. They are built to be able to impose some confidence. They are built to be able to make the family feel that they are protected, that no danger will come, no evil will occur, nothing will attack them, and that if anything bad happens, that they will be there as the father. They are the father. They protect the home. They are the father. They watch over the house. They are the father. They bring that security. They are the father. They bring that protection. And it is not just there for a man to be in the house or a male to be in the house. The fact that a male in the house is in the house does not bring the same feeling. It's not enough for you just to be in the house and be walking around from the kitchen and the sitting room and be like, wearing sportswear and be sitting down and put your leg on top. That is not meaning that you are a man. You can do that also, but what the most important thing you bring is not that. The most important thing you bring is not to just, it's not just to be sleeping with that woman. The most important thing you bring is not to be sleeping with a woman. What you bring, even before you sleep with a woman, let me tell you men something. The reason why one of the reasons that could be one of the reasons really why some women will not allow your wife will not allow herself to sleep with you. The reason sometimes when your wife is having headache all the time, every night she's having headache, every night she's not in the mood, every night she's telling you one excuse or the other, either she's having menstruation or she's having headache or she's she's sick or she's tired. The reason sometimes those women do that? The reason those women do that is because they are not feeling that security. They are not feeling that you are giving them that protection. If you say how now, but I come now, I bring salary, but it's more than salary. This thing is more than salary. This thing is more than salary. It's more. It's some assurance. It is some confidence. It is making her to feel that she is totally secured. You must give your woman that thing. Oh, but she's grown up now. Oh, she herself can stand for herself. But she's strong. She tries to be strong. Yes, even though she tries to be strong. When sometimes the woman tries to be strong, it's because she's telling you that way that she's not getting that strength from you. It's because she's trying to make you know that strength she's trying to display is the thing that she lacks, is the thing that she's not receiving. So even when a woman is trying to be strong and trying to say, okay, I'm doing that, it means she wants you to come by her side. I just said, relax, my girl. Don't worry, I'm here for you. I'll be there for you. She wants you to just remove that strength from herself. She wants you to remove that. She said, okay, I carry the load myself. Even though she's carrying the load, but she's actually thinking in her mind that I'm expecting him to come and remove the load. If he's a man, let him come and remove that load. If he's a man, let him, even though I'm carrying the load now, let him, if he loves me, let him come and show me that I don't have to carry the load. So some of the reasons for those headaches is because of that. It could be because of that. Because she's not feeling, she must feel that she's absolutely protected. I told you people sometimes what I do for my wife, with my wife. Do you know, we've been living for 22 years. For 22 years, I never ever open my envelope. My envelope is my salary. I never open my envelope and my salary. Each time I'm coming back from office, and the first 10 years, I was receiving the salary, the accountant will bring me the salary, and I will just take the envelope and just give it to my wife like that. It's not because I cannot manage money. I'm a manageable man. We manage money very well. But because I want to give her some extra assurance. I want to give her some feelings of total security. And I'm not telling, I cannot even, for me, I don't even understand how an old man will sit down and say, okay, how much do you need now? $200. Okay, take $200. Then tomorrow she will come back again and say, love, or whatever they call you, your honey, what do I call yourself? Can you give me another $100? The one you gave yesterday is not enough. Another $100 for the food of the baby. I need some underwear. You know, my underwear, the old one is old. It's tearing. So me, I know they for that one. Oh. I think it's even an embarrassment for a man to be sitting down there and be saying, okay, okay, let me give you, where is the change? I think that's just an embarrassment. Of course. For now, the first 10 years I was bringing the envelope myself. But now, I don't even see the envelope with my own eyes at all. I don't even see that envelope again. Pata pata, I don't see it at all. It's because the accountant and all that, they know the way to my wife's office. So they just go and give her. Of course, we have a policy. Don't get me wrong. We have a policy. We sat down together and we came up with a policy, of how the money is supposed to be spent. But we did that, we agreed on it, and that's all. And she's the one managing and that and all that. So fathers are needed in the family. We need fathers in the families because fathers need to bring that feeling of protection. They need to bring that feeling of that protection, that feeling of security, both to the woman, both to the wife, and to the children. The children sense it if everything is secure or not in the house. The children feel it if there is protection, they need that. Even there is no danger, nothing threatening them, but they still need that feeling of security and protection. They need it. So that's what a man's supposed to bring. So if he says he's a man and he's not bringing any feeling of assurance, security, protection, or anything, what kind of man is that? To make you take me, I would just say make you go grow up in your father's house first so before you not everybody that say they are married though. And not everybody that say that they have children though. That's what they don't have fathers. I mean, not everybody that say they have fathers though, because fathers are not functioning. Fathers are supposed to be known by their functioning. Men are supposed to be known by their functioning. Not just by the fact that they have something between the legs. That's too small. Next point. Another thing that a man brings to the family, another thing that a man brings to the family and to the children, to the child, is the feeling of worth. A man brings that feeling of worth to the child. That confidence, that worth, that self-respect, that self-image, that self-esteem, that feeling of self-esteem, that feeling of self-worth, that feeling of self-worth, confidence, that feeling of self-worth and dignity is dependent on how the man is relating to the children. Because from the confidence the man that oozes out of the man himself, from the assurance and confidence and that oozes out of the man, the child receives assurance, but not just assurance, they receive that feeling of self-worth, the feeling of self-worth and dignity. A baby needs it, a child needs it, a boy needs that feeling of self-worth. But if you give that feeling of self-worth and dignity to a woman, those are the kind of women that don't become promiscuous. Those are the kind of, when they grow up, that baby girl grows up, she doesn't see any need at all for a woman, for her to be waiting for some man to come and be giving her compliment or doing her eyes or something. She's okay from inside. She has that balance in her. She has that feeling of dignity. You know, there is something they call women's dignity, a lady's dignity. That dignity, it comes from the man. It comes from the father. That feeling of dignity, that feeling of self-worth. You know what? There's something they call respect. You know, a woman that has self-honor, self-respect, self-dignity. That is the dignity I'm talking about. That is the self-esteem. So that self-esteem, that self-worth, that self-dignity that a woman is supposed to have, that keeps her pure, holy, secure, that makes her to keep her purity and virginity and all that. That is supposed to become from the man. No? That's supposed to come from the man. The man is supposed to give and instill so much of that worth, dignity, self-esteem in that child, that she's not looking for anything. No. She's not looking for anything in any man. That is what a father does. That is what a father does. That's what a father does. A father is supposed to be in the house to bring that dignity, that self-worth, that feeling of self-worth and self-respect. She's supposed to bring it to the girl. But not just to the girl, the man needs it also. Because the man, the boy needs it also. If a man is there, if the father is in the family and brings that dignity, that feelings of dignity and self-worth to the boy, he will study well, he will behave well, he will respect women, he will be able to do what he needs to do, he will behave, he will be respected in the society. He will become a gentleman. He will become a successful grown-up man when he grows up. So this, one of the most crucial things a father is supposed to bring to any home or to his own family is that feeling of self-worth, that feeling of dignity, that feeling of dignity. So those are the points I want to bring to you today. Those are the I want you to please go and share the link. Yeah, I want us to go and share the link. I want to go and you to go and share the link. Tomorrow, let me give you the topic I'll be talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about the importance of the father in the life of a baby boy. The importance of the father in the life of the baby boy. That's what I will talk about tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow evening, I will talk about the importance of the father in the importance of the father in the life of a baby girl. The importance of the father in the life of the baby girl. Today I spoke generally, right? The importance of the father in the life of the children, right? That's what I spoke about generally today, right now. That's what I just spoke about now. But tomorrow morning, I'll be speaking about the importance of a father in the life of a baby boy, a child that's a boy. Then tomorrow evening, I'll be talking about the role and the importance of a father in the life of the baby girl or the baby girl. That will be in the evening. But in the morning, let's start with the boy. Let's start with the boy. Let me see what your comments are. But we need to share this one also. We need to share this link. If you have not shared the link, let's go share it. Let's go share the link. I hope it will bless somebody. I hope it will bless somebody. And let me see what you are writing. Let me read some of your comments. Let me read some of your comments here. Joy Akanono says she's becoming addicted to my platform. Some of the people who are addicted, we have lost them, or because we left that other platform and they can't find us again. So we need to help find old guys, the older people that were there on the platform with us that we are no more seeing. Okay. Okay, Pearl David is asking, when is HMT in 2017? You know, HMT, I don't know yet, but I might be able to do one quick HMT in January. Some students are trying to convince me to do HMT in January. So maybe we could invite you to that HMT in January. I don't know the date yet. They are supposed to give me the date. But if you are dying to come to HMT, if you are really hungry for HMT, you want to attend one of the HMTs, it might be a good idea for you to register. Let's see how many people would like to come for January. It might be second or third week in January. So if you want to come for HMT, and you are interested in it for January, write us. If we have enough people who want to come in January, then I will set up one in January. Because soon after that or before that, I might leave Ukraine. So, but most likely, normally we'll have it in April. Normally we have HMT in April. So if we don't do one in January, then it will be in April. If we don't do it in January, it will be in April. Kel Z say, if a father just goes out to work and is not really active with the children, does it affect the female children as well? Yes, it affects the female and the male children. Yeah, it's not good. It needs to be there for them. Caller K said, a man-child develops and learns from a man, not a role model, from a male, not from a male, but from a man. Yes, but not just the boy learns from the man, the girl also learns from the man. A girl will always see herself looking for affirmation from friends and men if she doesn't have a father. Okay, Bidemi say, thank you, sir. I will go through the points again to establish it in my thoughts. I celebrate you. Thank you. TY says, every day we learn something new. I really lived that reason for headache matter. Or maybe I really like that, excuse. That excuse of headache, I think she's trying to say. And even if you are chasing a babe, and every time you behave like a sheepstick monetarily, the girl will always find excuse. Well, I don't understand the language TY writes. Lisa XM said, I know it to be true word. It took up until a few years to come into feeling of self-worth. Ojo Lakpe said, yes, I want to come for HMT. You need to write me. If you want to come to HMT, please write to me. Write to me, to pastor@godembassy.org, or you could write to guest@godembassy.org. Better to pastor@godembassy.org. Abasi Betty says, Pastor, this teaching is wonderful. I pray that men should listen to the message and make changes in their families. Joseph Oyewole said, we are highly encouraged. To be a father is not just a bread and butter issue. This is a real serious work. It's hard work to be a father. Yep. Gift Amos, God bless you, my mentor. Okay, Omonike, thanks so much for this teaching, Pastor Sunday. May the Lord grant you more anointing. Thank you. Godwin Ibekwe, sisters and wives, there is hope. Men are listening. This message is like a turnaround maintenance to bring men up to speed. Yep. Ushe Amadi. I met a woman who was wishing for Jesus to come so that she could go to heaven because she was feeling tired of her marriage due to her husband's attitude. A lot of women are without joy. Please, men, let's give all our women joy and peace. Give them acceptance. Yep. TY, awesome. A celebrated and acknowledged girl carries herself well, dignified. Yep. Lisa says, yes, it's the dignity. If you don't get self-worth and dignity at home, it takes a lot of hard knocks and years of suffering to gain that self-worth. Christine say, I'm praying, Pastor, that my husband will be the same like you. Ogenetega. Sometimes when I'm coming from my night duty and listening to this man series, I can't help but enter the house angry. My husband, even though he's off that day, looks at my face and start making breakfast. Deborah said, we need real fathers who will not just warm the bed, but take responsibility. Yep. Darlene says, I believe you, sir, have been what you have done for me. Only great men can do that. Yeah, thank God. Galina says, a real father changes the atmosphere in the family. He always brings feelings of peace, protection, assurance. And a child stays in peace, and a child rejoices more and worries less. Yep. Pearl say, thank you, sir, for sharpening my love for the father from one daddy to another daddy, my biological daddy and father above. Yep. Laura Ikeobi, we are blessed by your words. My kids are watching with me, Pastor, especially my 2-year-old daughter, 2-year-old daughter. Gift Amos, men should please take this upon themselves and build fatherly love for their children and stop giving wrong impression about women. Christine, I've learned a lot from you daily, Pastor, and it helps me to develop myself more, value more, and my relationship. We both say thank you for it, sir. Sandra, thanks so much, sir. This is wonderful. Children need real fathers who will fulfill responsibilities in the family. Yep. Adedotun, your ability to be able to know what to look for in men or attributes of real men is one of the great signs that you are ready for marriage. Yep. Esther Puganja, thank you for the teaching. It's very empowering. Comfy, thank you very much, Pastor, for giving life to us. Bless you and your family. Adedotu, you have to exercise a lot of caution, ladies, because male are everywhere, but real men are very scarce. Yep. Ngoya Sharis, Pastor, I personally can connect with this message so incredibly well. I agree with what you have said 100%. So much depends on the real men in the family and children's life. It's a pity because so often, sadly, they live in total blindness, darkness, ignorance. When the mother is not at peace due to the lack of a father, it transcends to the children big time. Yep, you're right. Okay, guys, I will be back tomorrow morning. Like I said, we'll be talking about the boys, the role of the father in the life of the boy. Thank you, guys, and have a wonderful evening. Blessings. Bye.